Hey, it's So from So's Real Thoughts. I am here live on my phone. Let's just take a couple of minutes. I'm just gonna finish setting up. What is that? I'm just going to get some things situated. I know I made another event page, but I don't think it links with the phone and the computer because I'm on my phone right now. Because for some reason, the live stream on my computer does not work. Okay. Oh, I think it is the same one. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. Alrighty then. How's everyone doing? I am currently on my bed, so we could have like a more friendly conversation than it being more proper. Today we are going to talk and have a casual conversation about if you need to go to film school in order to become a filmmaker or break into the film industry. Yep. If you have any questions, please let me know so I can answer them while I'm going on my whole spiel about film schools. Give me 1 second. Cool. Alrighty, okay, so if you didn't know, I did go to film school. I went to Cal State Long Beach, and they have two programs there. They have the production program and the film studies program. I ended up opting for the film studies program only because I think I did the application wrong for the film production, and then it makes no difference at Cal State Long Beach because there's maybe 3 classes that you can't take if you're a film studies student, and then you can take all the production classes. That's just how Cal State Long Beach works. I know our reputation is kind of it's not like the greatest film school, but it always gets a better rep considering that Spielberg went there after he got rejected from USC a bunch of times. But if you want a straightforward answer, do you need to go to film school? The answer is yes. Only because there's a whole process to film schools. I mapped out this whole thing about the pros and cons of film school. So if you really break it down, yeah, do you need to go? I don't know. It really depends on yourself, what you want to do in the film industry, whether you want to become a filmmaker, a scripty, a producer, set designer, or a film programmer, festival, go into the festival world, or be a film critic. It really depends on what you want to do. Regardless, I think anybody in any industry wants you to have at least a BA degree. They want to see that you came out of college, and I think that's what they're looking for. The thing about going to USC, Ping Pong says, I'm graduating high school very soon. I'm considering on just majoring for a stage director. We'll get into that a little bit. So figure out what you want to do, and then figure out what kind of school you need to go in order to get closer to your dream. If you want to be a filmmaker, there's the list that came out for the best film schools, and I'll link it down below later. A Hollywood Reporter. It says USC, AFI, NYU, UCLA, Columbia, Cal Arts, Chapman, Loyola, Wesleyan, and Emerson. Okay, that is top 10. I don't know where Wesleyan came from because I don't know anybody in the film industry from Wesleyan. Wesleyan. Okay, I think that's what. But I do know people from every other school, including my school. So honestly, it doesn't really matter what film school you go to, but also it's very niche. USC is lauded and is USC and AFI has so many alums already in the industry. They look you a little bit differently if you are from that school, and they give you a little bit more access to the equipment and basically nurture you a little bit during and then after graduation, which is great. But even if you didn't go to those schools, like you don't need to spend $50,000 a year in order to learn what you need to learn. So Ping Pong said that he's going to be majoring for stage directing. I think that is particular. That is something you probably should go to film school for, unless you know somebody who's already doing that, and then you can kind of learn the ropes through them. So like my own experience, when I went to film school, I'm pretty sure everybody who went to film school immediately wanted to be a film director, including me. What I ended up getting out of my film school, even though it was very, very limited, is that I really tried on so many hats, and it really tested my stamina and my passion that I was like, do I really want to become a filmmaker? It is incredibly hard. This is an industry where it'll beat you to death and then beat you some more. So unless you are ready for that, do it. And I mean, you won't know till you go through it, to be honest. Half the people that I graduated film school with aren't even in film anymore, which is a tragedy. So what I learned was, yeah, if I want to be a director, I like that I was able to try on all types of hats. I was a producer, a scriptee. I realized I'm not very good at scripting at all. I did film studies, so in order for me to become a film critic and all these different things, and then I basically kind of honed down on what is your strengths. So play to your strengths. What are you really good at, and what do you want to be, and try to hopefully like align those things together. The most helpful class that I've ever had was in my women in film class and my theory class. I know theory can be a little bit boring, and it is, but I think it's a great primer to how you watch film in general, because I know a lot of people who's like, I love movies, I watch film all the time, but it's not you watching films, it's how you watch it and what you get out of it and the types of message that it conveys. And I think taking those classes was like really, really eye-opening. I think kind of something changed in my head after I took those classes, and then as I was watching movies. So another great thing about film school on my part is that I was able to work with a lot of people. I was able to mess up again and again, and you kind of figure out who you are, obviously, what your role is in film and what kind of position you want to play. So a lot of it is figuring out who you are, on top of the internships that you have to do and all this other stuff. Granted, I don't feel like I needed to go to film school. I really don't think I did, only because let's get into it. What are the pros? Pros of film school. So you have the connection and alumni, which is very powerful and will help you. You'll meet people that will probably help you till way later on in your career. So those friends, stick with them and use those resources. I think something I did wrong, or I wasn't really good at this. When I was in film school, I didn't make as many things as I could have and taken really full advantage of the people around me in terms of being able to collaborate and create work that is meaningful. I think I was too preoccupied with classes, doing some internships, which I didn't do too many. So it's a huge balance. Being able to do and make a lot of things that are worthy. So by the time you graduate, you have a jumping off point, and maybe you'll get scouted for commercial agencies. That's happened to a lot of my friends. I wasn't so lucky or fortunate about in that area, only because I wanted to go a different route. And then I think doing your internships. So there's a lot going on there. Another pro is the knowledge that you gain from film school. It will stay with you for the rest of your life. Like I said, those classes changed the way I thought about films in general, and it was really vital. And I think those 2, 3, 4 years or whatever, because I went to community college and then I went to Cal State Long Beach, and I watched an insane amount of movies. But that movie stage in your life is a primer to all the Criterion films that you'll get into later on. And experience. So it was a great experience, and I think you just have to make the most of it, like with anything. Cons to film school. Money. Do you really want to be paying $50,000 a year to be making stuff, which is great, but also if you know the right people and you work really hard, you can break into the industry regardless of a degree. But also there might be parents involved who are already in the industry. Who knows? Cons to film school. It's a bit amateur. Because everyone's such a novice, everyone is kind of blind going in, working on set, not knowing what to do. It's very chaotic. On a real film set, everybody knows what they're doing. Everyone delegates. It's very clean cut, smooth sailing. So a lot of it is kind of practice. I mean, that's what it's for. But also a lot of it, I feel like I didn't learn as much as I could have, to be honest. Maybe that was my fault. Maybe that was just Cal State Long Beach's limited amount of funds and equipment. But who knows? There's a lot of things. You don't really learn till you get out into the real world and go on those film sets and see how it kind of works. Because it's like the blind leading the blind in film school. Like everyone's like, oh, I want to be a director. And then everyone kind of circles around and doesn't really feel invested in the projects that they're doing. They just kind of want to do it just for the heck of it. So the other person could help you on their set or something. I actually don't have a third con. I wrote money and it's a bit amateurish. There are probably other ones. If there is, please let me know. It's film school. It's a lot of your time, a lot of money. Sometimes the thing is, it doesn't guarantee you a position in film if you go to film school. It doesn't. A lot of people that I know who have went to film school with me are waiting tables and doing other stuff, which is such a shame. But like I said, this is not an industry. This is an industry not for like the faint-hearted. You'll get rejected. You'll get rejection after rejection after rejection, and it will beat you down. So, where do we go from here? It really depends on... Yeah. Okay, so the whole message of this was, do you really need to go to film school? And I initially said no, but after saying all this, it depends on you. It depends on what you want to get out of it and what you want to do in the long haul. There are a lot of the tactics that you can learn by yourself. I actually am in the process of making this. I'm making a spreadsheet of basically if you wanted to not go to film school and learn about everything about film by yourself, how you can go about doing that. And I was going to create like a little template so I can share it with you on the ways. As for me, I want to be a filmmaker. I am a filmmaker. Duh. I can't just, you don't say I'm gonna be a filmmaker, because technically I've created enough work that I am a filmmaker. But to what, I think I just need to keep on working to get to a point where that role and that kind of name of filmmaker is actually justified in my opinion for myself. And I guess I am kind of glad I went to film school, but I'm pretty sure when I went out of film school, I could have done everything by myself. Right after film school, I think I interned at some commercial agencies and I started working on commercials, and I realized I don't want to do commercials. There's a lot of good money in commercials. Everyone wants to get into it because it's a quick turnaround, and the days are pretty easy, pretty laid back, and there's a buttload of money that comes with it. But I want to do narrative film. I want to be in film production. So I was like, how do I stop this and go into film? And it's been kind of a longer process, because throughout I was like, okay, well, I want to be a film critic, a film programmer, and a film director. How can I accomplish all three? That's why it's taking a bit of time, but I'm glad I went through it, because now I feel like, okay, I've gotten the knowledge I need to know, and we can get started. I actually met this girl recently, and she asked me, she's like, how do I get into film? And I'm like, holy crap. That's why I made the Excel sheet, because I was like, I don't know. There's so much to tell you, so I'll try to break it down. She really wants to go to AFI. I think film school is really great for grad school. If you're going to grad school, film school is, like, I recommend that. But as an undergrad, you could probably save the money, learn everything that you need to know, start working on sets with your friends and other people from other schools, and get started that way. Read all the books that you can, and then you feel like, oh, I need to go to a full-on school. You should go to grad school. It's a huge jump from undergrad to grad, because everyone's like, I don't know what to do in undergrad, and everyone has their shit together in grad school, and because this is their lives and this is their career, and they're very serious about it, and that's why I love it. I have a lot of friends who graduated from AFI and are currently going to AFI, and they are some of the most professional people I have ever met, and I love working on their sets because they're just incredible. They're just so easy, and yeah. I got everything right. If you have any questions, let me know about anything. If you want to ask me about some more of my experience, I feel like I pretty much broke it down to everything on what I learned, what I didn't learn, what I got out of it, what I could have gotten more. Definitely, if I could do it all over again, I would apply to bigger schools just so I can meet more people. But at the same time, that is really up to you, because I left film school and I'm only in touch with a couple of people, and those people are like one of my closest friends, and we're still doing film stuff till this day. And so, yeah. Is that it? Oh my god, did we just go through everything? Wow. Well, yeah, anyways, if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I will reply back to you. I think that is pretty much everything. I'm still on this quest of filmmaking, and hopefully I will be able to make like a full feature-length film in the coming years. The thing is, nowadays, I think when I first started film school, I thought it was such a far-fetched dream. But nowadays, all you need to do is go out, make a film, and submit it to festivals. It seems very, very easy. I know that's easier said than done, but that is the process because there is no other way. This whole getting funding from film productions is 1 in a million, 1 in 100, but it is definitely a process. Cameron says, what is your view on the lack of female directors in the industry? And Russell says, yes, live the dream. Thank you. I'm still doing it. I almost feel like I'm getting to an age where I have to, like, be a filmmaker right now because I can't keep peeing forever. But honestly, I don't mind. I love being on set anyways. And as long as I don't tell people my real age, I'm pretty sure they'll keep me on for like years to come. What do I think about the lack of female directors in the industry? I really think it's a shame, only because there's so many different types of story to tell. There's so many freaking talented people in the industry, and they just need to get their voices heard and have their space. Some of the most incredible films I've ever seen, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. I love it. Sadly, it's a broken system sometimes because I know a lot of people want to nurture people who look exactly like them. Like, say, Spielberg with J.J. Abrams and Colin Trevorrow, that guy. Granted, they're all super good. It's just that now, instead of trying to get somebody exactly like you and nurturing somebody who basically is, a mini version of yourself, or like, oh, I want to help him out because he reminds me of myself. Like, instead of doing that, we need to really invest in people who are underrepresented, underheard, because they're so talented and there's so many films out there. And to be honest, there isn't a lack of females in the industry. If you go seek them out, they are there and they're thriving. Some of the most amazing films. I will also, now that you said that, I will also link down below my top 10 films of all time favorite films made by female directors. Really fucking kick ass. Unbelievable. So yeah. I think that's about it. I don't want to keep this too long. I loved having this conversation. Maybe we should have a live stream conversation maybe every week. What do you think? We can make that work. Let me know what I should talk about next week. I love film school and talking about film, anything about everything, anything. If you have any advice or other questions, feel free to let me know. Other than that, come back in maybe 2 hours and I'll list all the links down below. Or if you go to so'srealthoughts.com, my website, you can find my favorite films directed by women and other things. And I am gonna slowly release more work out. I'm trying to make more narratives because I am into documentaries. But that is coming. Very excited for everything. Anyways, leave any video suggestions down below and I will talk to you guys later. I think this is how it works.